It's time for Around the Ozarks Rewind, brought to you by Kaleidoscope at the corner of Fremont and Sunshine. Here are your hosts, Woody and Janet.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the PC.
The what?
The PC.
The PC.
The podcast.
Oh, it's
and what
one word,
What
no.
does pod stand for?
Oh, I learned this last week.
Play on demand.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, Woody.
Also learned what club sandwich stood for.
Club?
A club sandwich is any sandwich of the house.
No, it's chicken, lettuce, under bacon.
Under bacon.
Yeah,
Well,
that's how it got its name.
My name is Woody P. Snow. Some people in the room may call me Jay Johnson. I've had many names and throughout my career, friends come and go, but this guy, he's been around.
What does he call you?
I love him. Huh?
What does our
He'll probably
guest
call
call
me
you?
Jay.
We have a guest today.
Yeah, but wait a minute. First of all, I got to take care of business. Janet Lane's here.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Across the board is rock star Jay Stevens.
Ta-da.
I tell you, people, I was thinking about this on the way up. If there's anybody in the whole world I could have picked to inherit the name Jay Stevens, it would be you.
Oh, Woody!
I
want to hug you.
You
now,
guys
Janet
really
Lane, I am
did
quite
walk in the
concerned
park.
about you.
What do you mean?
Well, are you concerned about losing your position here on the podcast?
Should I be?
Well, the new president's kind of getting rid of DEI hires.
Oh, was she a DEI hire from the 90s?
What does that stand for? Diversity, inclusion. And you were the one that taught me this.
Doesn't inclusion.
Equity and inclusion.
And equity. Yes. And you being, Japanese and everything, not really
Indian.
considered, and half Indian.
And female.
I'm afraid that from now on, it has to be merit-based. You have to be qualified to be here.
I'm qualified. I went to, I didn't go to FCC school.
But you're funny.
Oh, thank you so much.
And beautiful, too.
Oh, you.
Hey, back off there, hound dog.
Hound dog.
Hey, bird dog, keep away from my quail. Ladies and
how ornery he
gentlemen, the
was.
one, the only, Larry Dablemont. He's
That's your
everything you could want in a brother, a son, a father.
The most people ever applauded me ever. It's 3.
Now, Larry, scoot right up to that microphone.
Okay.
I know you got a bad knee, and I know you're in pain. Larry told me he's been in pain all his life.
Now, I heard you fell. I've recently fallen, so I feel your pain.
Yeah, in fact, I got to leave a little early because I'm going to have this, they're going to give me a new knee. I jumped off the front of my boat, and I shouldn't have done that. I've done that all my life, and then it just got to a point where I shouldn't have done it one more time. And now I got it. So I got to leave early so they can call me and tell me what to expect. I just do not know what to expect, but they're going to call me and tell me. So I have to leave here at 25 after 2. So
Perfect.
I think we get everything done by that time.
Well, you should have got here on time.
I want to tell you something. I don't want to insult folks in Springfield, but if they was to line me up against the wall with a firing squad and say, you're going to have to live in Springfield or we're going to shoot, I'd say, fire away, fellas, fire away.
Why?
I cannot imagine living. I live in the woods overlooking the Pomme de Terre River about 45 miles north of here. I see more rabbits in a day than I see people.
Oh.
And it's just when you live like that and you get in, because those red and green lights and more cars than I ever seen in my life. Boy, it's tough. And
More cars, but less Sasquatch.
So you've never gone to Kansas City or St. Louis?
Yes. I've been to Kansas City, St. Louis, Omaha, Chicago,
New York,
Winnipeg, Toronto. I've been to all of them, but as an outdoor writer, I had to do a lot of that. But I never once wanted to be there any longer than I had to be because I like being out in the middle of the woods, and I like people. I like talking to people, but I guide. A lot of times, and I guide people that I really enjoy, but there's never more than just a couple, 3 of us. So it's kind of rough being in it's the traffic mostly. I don't see how anybody can drive in this traffic without just having all their fenders banged up in every direction. But I made it. I'm here, by golly.
I want to talk a little bit about your history. Now, I have photographic proof that you actually dated Hilary Clinton.
What?
Yeah,
No.
Wait a minute.
Wait. Whoa.
It wasn't exactly dating. It was, I was her fishing guide. I worked in the Arkansas Capitol there for a while as the chief naturalist for the state of Arkansas, and I had a little office down in the corner there, and she would come in every now and then and
Hit on you.
And yeah, well, she, you can understand why the woman had Bill. And I told her once, I said, Hillary, I said, wouldn't it be something if you'd have married me, you'd have been married to an outdoor writer? And she said, no, I wouldn't. You'd have been president. So,
there you go.
That would have been great.
Wow.
but really and truly, I make a whole lot more out of it than ought to be made out of it, because it is kind of the complexion of Ozark Hill people to exaggerate. And so I've done some exaggerating about Hillary, but I still got my picture taken with her.
Now,
Was she pleasant?
Was she what?
Pleasant?
No. No. There's nothing pleasant about Hillary Clinton ever. She,
Oh my!
I was competing with. She had a boyfriend at Rose Law Firm, and I didn't. I wasn't able to compete with him. He was a big time lawyer, and me. It didn't take me long to get out of Little Rock. I went up and became a naturalist for the Buffalo River National Park Service up there, and got to be happy again. And I never saw her after that. It was just that little time in Arkansas, and she told me.
Anyway,
When you had that little
on line
fling.
3, we have Hillary.
You son of a Hey, so Larry,
Take me back,
Larry,
really.
do you have any children?
Yes, I got 3 beautiful kids and two ugly ones.
So you're one of the 5.
I ain't forgot that. We were the very first act. Very first act was Jay and I when we were 17 years old on the what do you call that? The Nettie Marie Jones
Learning
Center. We were the first act on the stage, and that was one of the jokes. He asked me if I had any kids, and I said, I actually do have 3 beautiful children, but I don't have any ugly ones. But I got a grandkid is pretty ugly.
Okay.
What else was I going to ask you?
So how long do you guys go back? You
we
went
were
to college.
roommates till we were 17.
College? 17?
17 years old.
You can read all about us in this book.
Yeah, that's what you should let everybody know about the book.
What's the name of
Yeah,
it?
you've got a lot of books that you brought here.
Look at you, Larry and Jay Johnson.
Yeah, this one. What were we raffling off? Hamsters?
Yeah, we had a bunch of hamsters, and we was trying to get a good cage for them so the mama wouldn't eat them. She ate them anyway, but we went to the girls' dorm and let them know that we needed a cage. And
What are you doing here in this picture with your shirt off,
There's one Woody's got just a towel on.
I don't know.
with a microphone?
Did you take that
There's
picture?
a microphone
Larry?
laying on the bed.
yeah, I took that one.
Even weirder.
Jay was the most best looking guy on campus.
Woody?
And his girlfriend was the best looking girl on campus, and
What?
so I figured out if
you think about
There we are on stage doing our.
That's you and him doing the routine.
Yeah.
Wow.
What is the name of this book that we're looking at?
Look
This
how
one is called-
handsome. Look how handsome.
This one's called
Prince?
The Prince of Point Lookout, because Larry was kind of like.
Look at you guys.
it's a humor book.
A house
but it's
boy.
true. It's the whole thing is true. I wound up working for Dr. Clark and
There's some sad parts in here.
huh?
There's a couple of sad stories in here.
Yeah, there's a little bit of sadness.
How
to
many
it.
books have you written?
I've written 12 so far, and I'm trying to get 2 more done this year.
Now, lately I've been seeing on TV, there's a lot of these publishers.
Oh,
have you written a
yes.
book lately? Ladies and gentlemen, do not fall for that. If they ask you for money,
I tell people that a lot of times, but I'll be glad to advise anyone about how to get a book published. But you need to figure out that you're not going to get a book published cheap. If you do 1,000 copies of these paperbacks like I do, you're going to have $6,000 in it, $5,000, maybe
well,
$4,000.
that's if you publish yourself.
Yeah, I do.
See, I didn't have to pay a thing, but then my books didn't go anywhere.
But then you publish you publish 1,000 and you pay that money, borrow it from the bank or however you want to get it, and then you wind up selling $50,000 worth of books.
Wow!
And so it's an investment, but it ain't much for what you're going to get out of it if you do it right. But
wow!
You got to have a plan for selling books. You can't just publish a book and say, "Well, now everybody's going to flock to my door." You got to have a plan to a publicity plan and places where you can sell them besides bookstores.
So you're rich.
Bookstores? No, I'm not rich. Well, I'm rich because I live out there on that mountaintop with all the trees around me, and that makes you rich. And I consider myself rich, but if I was to have to scrape up much money, I wouldn't be able to pay a ransom on my wife or anything. It just,
I like the way you proposed to your wife.
Do tell.
If you'd lose 20 pounds,
no,
I might marry you.
Nuh-uh.
And she did too.
She lost 20 pounds.
Well, it was she had a lot of competition back in those days. 20 pounds wasn't much. I had some girls I was going with that need to lose 40.
What about Hilary?
Well, Hilary had just had a baby when she'd come down there in my office and look at I was fixing up displays for the parks, and she had just had a baby, and she told me, she said, "I think one of these days Bill will be president." And of course, I laughed about that. But she said, "When he is, we'll make you the head of the Fish and Wildlife Service."
Wow!
And then he come in not too long after that with a little pot-bellied pig. Come in one evening, and back in those days, you remember, Jay, that pot-bellied pigs were all the rage.
Yeah,
everybody was getting them for pets, and he come in with one, and he said, "I got this for Hilary," and I said, "Boy, that's a good trade," and that was my chances for being the head of the Fish and Wildlife Service went out the window.
Oh man,
she didn't like me much after
I know
that.
you're limited on time. Tell us about the museum you're building.
Oh, that has turned out to be one of the disappointments of my life. I grew up on the Big Piney River, and I wanted to make a nature center called the Big Piney Nature Center, and we built it. But there's just so little interest in it that I don't think it's ever going to come off. We got the building done, and we're putting in the exhibits and everything, but there's just the town of Houston has acted like they don't know what's out there. And really? I was going to move over to Houston, where I grew up as a kid and went to school, but the Houston of that time is gone, and I found out a little bit about the police department and some of the things that made me decide I want to live out in the woods. And I wanted to live on the Big Piney all my life, but gosh, it ain't. The river that I saw is gone. It's
I remember
not there.
when we floated the Big Piney.
Yeah, you picked up a snake and put the snake in the boat.
That wasn't a moccasin.
No, it wasn't.
Well, what was the big problem? You guys freaked out.
Because what it was a snake that bit. And if they bite you...
It was a northern water snake.
Yes, but they bite. Something terrible.
Ah.
I would have
freaked. If they bite you...
I used to have a copperhead collection.
They
what?
If they bite you, they have a something in their saliva, a substance in the saliva that stops the clotting, and your finger will just bleed and bleed and bleed. And really? I even had that happen once, giving a demonstration at Buffalo River when one took one out of the cage and he bit me, and I sat there and talked, and the blood dripped off of my finger. All the people were panicking, thinking I was going to bleed to death.
So something in their saliva prevents you from clotting.
Yes.
Bleed out.
Wow.
Well, way to go, Woodrow.
But we didn't get bit. We just had to live with him in the boat for quite a while.
Good grief.
He crawled up under the end.
That was fun. Can we go floating again this spring?
I would take anybody floating anytime they want to go. I'm always going by myself.
These rich people that you take up into Canada I guess they are rich. I mean, what do you charge for something like that?
It depends on how many days. It depends on how many people. It depends on what you got to pay for lodging and that kind of stuff. But you can go to. I mean, I don't make much money out of it. I have passed the age of caring much about making money because I got enough to get by. Like I said, I wouldn't be able to ransom my wife if somebody kidnaps her, but I can do all right otherwise. So it just everything depends. If you want to go on a float trip on a river here in the Ozarks, I generally charge two people $200, and that's pretty cheap. Most people are charging way over that. But again, I enjoy it so much, I probably ought to have them. I'll pay them to let me take them. But I really do. I just love to float the rivers.
Do you do fly fishing things? Fly fishing tours?
No, most of them aren't fly fishermen. Most of them fish with spinning outfits, casting gear.
What do you call that where you stick your hand down and you pull up?
Noodle?
Yeah. That's noodling, yeah. They do that legally in Oklahoma, but it's not legal in Missouri, and you can do it. A lot of people do it anyway because they don't get caught.
Why would it be illegal? What's bad about it?
Well, because usually it's a nesting catfish female that's up in those holes, and if you pull one of them out of a hole or a cave or a barrel, you've taken away quite a few catfish eggs. And so I don't know that it really has sound logic behind it because there's so many catfish eggs anyway. Even if you allowed that, in Oklahoma they allow it and they have tons of them. So it may not be. The Conservation Department here in Missouri does a lot of things that don't have any kind of sound logic behind it. And that's one of the things that probably could be. You could probably make that legal tomorrow. Wouldn't make a bit of difference.
Whoa.
I don't think I'm quick enough to noodle.
I'm not going noodling at all. I'd be freaked out.
You don't have to be quick. They just lay there.
You're scared of noodling?
And I'm scared of snakes, so I'm definitely not going floating with Woody. No.
Same here.
But the fish just lays there. I mean, you reach up in a cave or a ledge, and he's laying there. You can feel of him and rub your hands over him. He don't run off. He just stays right there, or she does.
Now, is this a new magazine?
That's the one I put out last summer.
Well, now, I thought you gave up the magazine business.
Well, I have given it up temporarily, but now that President Trump is back in office, we may be able to afford it again. If I can afford it again this summer, I'll put them out again. But the thing of it is,
that's a nice magazine.
The companies that made paper quit making paper because they were all going broke. So they started making boxes for Amazon, and then it made it so expensive to put out a magazine that. But we put out quality magazines. We put out over 100 in 20 years.
Wow. Oh, yeah, this is nice.
What's your new book called? The Buck That Killed the Widow Jones?
Yes, yeah. It's the first story in there is about a buck that the Widow Jones was very upset about being on her property chasing does. And so we all tried to get him, but we didn't, and he got her eventually. So you just have to read the story.
Woody almost got killed.
Yeah, he told me about that.
It knocked. I can see it now. He put down his head. I said, "You're free to go." He lowered his head and charged me.
I wish there was video.
It knocked me over backwards. So I hit my head on a rock.
I'm about to.
If that had been a big buck, he would have put some antlers into your stomach.
Right. I think he was young. Well, we get nervous when people look at their watches. That reminds me of Joe Biden when they were unloading bodies from the.
Oh yeah. But you remember that those people are going to call me from Kansas City to tell me what I got to do
for your knee,
and I got to talk to them. But I will come back anytime you want. I got nothing to do but sit up there and look at rabbits and deer and.
So if they have to do something to your knee, you have to go to Kansas City.
Yep, I'm going to Kansas City.
Oh, you're not going to like that.
Doctors.
But I'm not driving. I've got a sister up there who is going to take me.
He's got a daughter that is a doctor.
Nice.
Yeah, but she won't come around him because
she's a doctor here at Missouri State University. Her name is Dr. Hilary Clinton. She was my firstborn little girl back.
But she avoids you.
What?
Yeah, she avoids me because I've always got something wrong. I want her to check out for me. I got moles, 10 or 12 moles that I have her look at just to be sure they haven't got into cancer yet. But no, I got
AI. Have you heard they're going to have injections to take care of whatever cancer?
I like the idea. Yeah, I like.
What?
Idea. Larry,
we'll talk about that later.
Much for coming down.
Oh, I enjoyed talking with you.
I know you're in a hurry, and I hope you'll come back when you can relax.
I sure will. Anytime you.
You're looking good.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
You still got hair, and it's still dark. Do you color your hair?
No. I don't know why it stayed this way, but it just did. It hadn't improved my looks any. I'll say that.
It looks nice.
Yeah.
Woody's got some kind of like that at home.
He's got something different going on.
I keep mine in a drawer. You got to see his hair.
I got
look at that.
similar to you, Larry.
Oh my goodness.
He's a rock star. You ever
Think of
been
that.
to
He might think I'm a
Hawaii?
Sasquatch. See?
To where?
Have you ever been to Hawaii?
No, I ain't never been.
Would you like to see the Hawaiian
I
Islands?
have a map. If you're an outdoorsman, you probably need to see the map like this.
I've never gotten a tattoo except that one time when I fell on a rock down on the Piney. I got a pretty good tattoo from that. Anyway, I've enjoyed it, and I will come back anytime you want to talk.
Brother. You were great.
The best thing we could talk about is the days at School of the Ozarks and what it has become since then. And you know, it was a wonderful place. I transferred to MU after 2 years, and I don't know where you went, but I wish I'd have stayed there the whole time. I just love School of the Ozarks.
Were you guys good roommates, or did you argue at all?
God,
or?
no, we never had any. You know, he sat around, played the guitar, and sang, and I enjoyed his singing, and we argued over who had the best looking girlfriend, which he did, undoubtedly. It was, gosh, I might have had an ugly girlfriend.
Yeah.
But she was sweet.
Yeah, she was. The one I got now, the one that's been married to me for 56 years.
Wow.
She was, the guys at the pool hall told me, said, if you're going to have to get married someday, he said, pick out a girl that is gorgeous, really pretty, but ain't smarter than you. And some of them said that's going to be a hard thing to do. But by golly, I was a naturalist at Table Rock State Park, and they came down there and camped, and I took her over and showed her School of the Ozarks and took her. I know we had 2 or 3 dates when I didn't have to spend any money. And then I took her to a drive-in. There was a drive-in once. And I had this old 56 Chevy, and I had fixed up a console, and I couldn't even hug her. And I asked her if she'd like to get in the back seat, and she said, no, I want to stay up here with you. And I knew...
She wasn't too bright. That was good.
I had found somebody that was beautiful, but wasn't as smart than me, so... But anyway, next time I'll bring her with you. She can tell you all about how rough.
Fantastic.
She can ride in the back seat up here.
Yeah.
She listens to our podcasts. Hello, Gloria.
Yes.
Well, thanks again,
Gloria.
folks.
Hey, thank you, brother.
But
Good
all we
job.
got to do is thank our
Thank your sponsors, guys.
Yeah. Thank
Absolutely.
you. There he goes.
Bye, Larry.
Larry has left the building.
He's got his jacket in
Oh, he
here
forgot
still,
his
and all
jacket.
his books.
You forgot.
Larry has not left the building.
Now, wait a
He's
minute.
back. He's back.
You got time to sign my book?
He's gone.
He's gone.
Next time I get down here, I'll sign.
Next time. he'll
Okay,
sign.
Larry.
I can tell he's worried about his knee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor guy. He's probably in pain.
Well, he should have got here on time, eh?
Well,
That's what I said.
That was actually really good. He was a very funny man.
he is very, very funny.
Good job, Woody.
You've no idea. Well, thank you. He's as nice as they come, and there's nothing about the outdoors he doesn't know.
Oh, I'm sure. I am sure.
I'm glad he didn't go too far against the Missouri Conservation Department.
Seriously,
Yeah.
though, what's with you with putting a snake in the boat?
Yeah.
Weirdo.
I love snakes.
Really?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Never going camping with Woody.
No.
I think they get a bad rap because of
'Cause they're icky.
Eve.
Oh, it has nothing to do. It's not
fangs.
biblical for me. It's just
vicious things.
they're just
I bit my dog.
ugh. And you know what else? I can't hold frogs either.
Ugh.
Ugh, the jumpy.
Oh, wait. Did we thank our sponsor yet?
Nope.
No.
We're still rolling?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, well,
Sorry. Hey, everybody.
No wonder you shoved the mic away. I was like, what are you doing?
I want you to visit the store called Kaleidoscope
Snake free.
if you're ever visiting
Yes.
Springfield.
well,
What'd you say?
Snake free.
and then I said,
Snake free place.
well,
It's snake free, or unless you
You
it's
go to
like
the
a
other
real
side.
fluffy one that you want to wrap around yourself.
yeah.
You know, a friendly snake.
Yes, at the corner of Sunshine and Fremont.
Sunshine and Fremont.
Thank you, Tom and
There's
Pam.
no other store that I can think of in America. I've been to Europe, as has Janet, and I've never seen a store like Kaleidoscope. Have
I haven't
you, Jen?
either. We were in New Orleans and we didn't even see a store
We
like
didn't see one in
Kaleidoscope.
Mexico. I haven't seen one in Alaska.
You see one
Anyway.
in Hawaii?
Totally.
Jay
No, I
would
never
know.
saw one in Hawaii. The only island I missed is the Big Island.
Well, I got you.
He got him radio. Gosh. Oh.
I wonder why they land in Oahu.
Yeah, the
plane
showing of the islands is getting longer. You can get longer views of it. You are promoting that. You know?
I don't understand what you're telling me.
Well, he used to just raise his shirt up real quick and put it down. Now it's like you can really see
Well,
the
he
islands.
knows I've had eye surgery, and so he gives me a little extra time, and I appreciate it, Jay.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
You guys are
appreciate
so
it.
sweet together.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm not quite ready to walk in the park holding hands with him.
We'll get there.
I
Baby
don't think
steps.
that'll ever
Baby
happen.
steps.
Baby steps.
I would be afraid of what people would. People talk. You
You
this,
want him to talk.
this
That'd be
town
a
is
great
gossip,
thing to
gossip,
be.
gossipy.
It is gossipy. It is a really.
Anyway, so I'm in this book. I got my own chapter. Oh, look, there's our Japanese friends, Takashi and Suichi.
Wow.
Yeah, they used to give Suichi. He'd be in a play, and they'd give him the hardest words for a Japanese guy to say.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, it was
terrible.
always funny, and he knew it. He would struggle so hard to get the words right.
Oh my.
Anyway,
oh my.
so the books we have here are Ain't No Such Animal, an excellent book.
Mm-hmm.
The Buck That Killed
Kilt.
the Widow Jones.
And he says KILT, kilt.
There's your album cover right there.
That's nice. That's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Very
thank
nice.
you, Kaleidoscope, Tom and Pam. You're wonderful people. We love you. This is Woody P. Snow speaking on behalf of Jay Stevens, rock star Jay Stevens, who's going to take a little cruise, and he'll bring back slides to show us all.
I will.
Maybe on the next.
Yeah.
Bring me a
podcast.
present. Bring me something
I'm sure
cool
that
from the Bahamas.
Mrs. will post.
So
pictures.
just speaking for me and my mouth, see ya.
And speaking from me and my mouth,
This has been Around the Ozarks Rewind with Woody and Janet. If you have questions or topics for the show, email Woody and Janet at aroundtheozarks.com.